And so I want us to take extreme accountability over our years, our days, our lives. You did. And I want you all to be creative in who you are and what you want to do. If somebody's not being triggered by what you do, then you're not doing it big enough. You're not doing enough whatsoever. If somebody is not angry at what you do, if somebody don't hate you for what you do, you're not doing enough. Somebody don't love you for what you do, you're not doing enough. I'm just being honest, it's not enough. The most successful people in the world are polarizing figures. They're polarizing figures, means that people have extreme feelings towards them. The most successful videos on the internet are polarizing videos. People don't just say, I like something. They say, I love this. I think this is the best in the world. This is the most craziest thing to ever happen. And people look at that because people, the spectrum of just being regular and being liked, that's bull. No, you have to be loved or you have to be hated. Because for everybody who hates you, when you have somebody who love you, they'll go to war for you against the hate. And when you can stack up more people that love you understand me? Now you have an army that can defeat any hate that comes your way. There's a formula and a system to it as well. But people that just like you a little bit, people that just care for you just a little bit, they're not going to go to war for you. There's many people that you all know that if something happened to them, you won't pick up arms for. You won't go to war for them. You won't defend them. None of that. So, therefore, you don't want to be liked. You have to be loved, and you got to be hated. But both of them are feelings. I don't want no in between. I don't want no in between. And if there's anybody who, and here's another thing. It's like if there's anybody who feel like there's any ounce of inauthenticity on what I say, on what I do, on what I believe, on how I move, on who I am, I want you to do yourself a favor and remove yourself. Do not listen to anything that I say. Do not believe anything that I say. Do not be around here. If you don't love me, don't be around here. You understand me? Because I'm gonna start treating you with very harsh animosity. I'm gonna start treating you very harshly if you come around me and you don't have extreme love. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm focusing on the type of energy that I want to have cycled throughout the rest of the year. Because what's been telling me is that, you gotta have your war mind. The war mind, this idea of being nonviolent. I don't know if being nonviolent is the best thing because and especially for men, you have to be capable of extreme violence. You have to be capable, but to choose to not to do it is what makes you a good man. To not be capable of it and to not do it, that doesn't make you peaceful. Like for the people in my life, I'm gonna go to war for. I want to think about ways if anybody come at them, harm them in any way, how can I use my money, my time, my resources to squash any threat to them whatsoever? A man has to be that one that protects his environment. But first, you can't protect nobody until you protect yourself. There's this idea, this self-sacrifice, right? That people are supposed to go through. I no, first you have to protect yourself. Then within that qualification of your ability to protect yourself and that experience, you relinquish that to protect others. You project that same protection quality towards others. So, I'm seeing a lot of stuff on the internet where cats don't know how to talk to women no more, but women don't know how to talk to men no more. Cats don't know, men don't know how to talk to women, women don't know how to talk to men. You know, I think and most of it is because of this false narrative idea of equality. Men and women are not equal. We are different by many degrees. It's like if your girl makes you some food and she makes the food and it got 2 servings, whatever she's thinking of. Come on, man. Hold on, I have my brother call me. Don't call me while I'm live. Don't do that. Check my shit. So anyway, like I was saying in this example, if your girl makes some food for you, and she makes if your girl makes some food for you and she makes equal servings, you understand me? That's not correct. Not if there's you know I'm trying to give an example of a plate. She makes some lasagna for you. She got one portion of lasagna, then there's another portion of lasagna, right? And they give the food to this is her plate, this is your plate, and they look exactly the same. And let's say there's no more food left on the stove. This is all she made, right? Now, if you all have equal proportions, you understand me? That's not the correct way to go about it. You have to make me more food. Why? Because I require more substance. I weigh more than you. I burn more food. Don't make me the same plate that you make yourself, because we're not equal in that regard. But this false narrative that people don't even understand that small bit of common sense to understand that we're different and we have to be treated different. You, you have to understand people that are in greater degrees than you in areas, they have to be given more. And men that are greater can handle more, so therefore God puts more on your plate. That's it. When you see men with no responsibility, right, and they have nothing that they can handle, God ain't gonna put nothing on their plate, because he know that they're weak. They're not equal to the men that he gives great responsibility to. So men that do not handle that type of responsibility, that are not led to that particular type of mission, they're not even called for anything worthwhile. So they also do not have the ability, right? They don't have the ability to even be able to speak on a man that has more on his plate. You can't speak on my responsibilities, what it requires to be this type of thinker, this type of leader, with this type of platform, this type of responsibility, this type of vision, this type of mind. You can't speak on that because you don't have the same weight that I do. We're not equal. And the most messed up part is when society start thinking we were equal. Well, equal in what? Intelligence? We're equal physically? We're equal spiritually? What are we equal in? You tell me. No, that creates a world of delusional people where they think that they have the ability to grade you, but you don't. You're not even my equal. Only your equals can understand you. It's like me going to the gym, yeah, and trying to give advice to this big ass bodybuilder or this super heavyweight boxer. You understand me, on working out. Bro, we not equal. I do this for a living. I study this. I know this. I wouldn't go and give Mike Tyson advice about how to fight in the ring. I wouldn't tell Mayweather anything about anything in the ring. I'm not his equal in the ring. Now, don't get me wrong. If I trained up a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Big Key he might, you feel me? He might land a couple, you know what I'm saying? He might do something. No, but I'm not going to do that. That's disrespectful. And many people don't, their ego is so emboldened. The ego is so out of the world that they can't even recognize, right, when they're not speaking to their equal. Ego don't make you equal. It don't. Ego does not make you equal. That's delusional. Now, you can grow in your greatness. You can grow to become greater. You can grow to become greater, and you can grow to become equal or superior to others. People don't like that word superior sometimes because of the word supremacy is connected to so many different things. Right? People don't like that word. superior. But there's superior knowledge, there's inferior knowledge. And so there's inferior people and superior people, inferior mindsets, superior mindsets. Superior men do not deal with the likes or care about the likes of inferior men. If a chihuahua barks at a lion, the lion not even gonna turn around because that's not even an equal bark that matters to him. That sound, that squeak don't mean nothing. No. Now, if he hear, another lion roar, he hear a wolf or something, he hears something that could possibly be a threat, he might have to turn around and check on things. But when it's a chihuahua, what, you go bite my tail? I'm gonna waste my time, and you may be a distraction for something that's actually a threat. But you really have to think about what's on your plate in life. You understand me? What is it that you currently are handling? That is God letting you know your limitation at the moment. And how you handle it is letting you know your own limitations. So if you're that's somebody of greater skill and ability, then you can now look at the people that you should become a disciple of, because now you should discipline yourself like them. So this is how you identify greater beings than yourself. And this is what qualifies them to teach you, to coach you, for you to pay them. Whatever you need to do for you to become as great as them in that particular area of life, of things you're trying to handle on your plate. There's a magnitude of speakers that I look up to, magnitude of leaders that I look up to. And I said, well, I'm not a great leader like that. I'm not a great speaker like that. I need to. So they have a greater degree, and I recognize that. And by bowing down to it, I can learn from it, and it can fill my cup. And once my cup is filled, now I can fill others' cup. But if you don't know how to look up to each other, how to bow down to each other, then there's nothing nobody can do for you. It's nothing. You can't grow. You will be stagnant your whole life. So remember, the amount of responsibility you have, the amount of things on your plate is relative to the strength and the degree of greatness that you are. God gives his greatest battle to his greatest soldiers. If you got some soldiers in the army, you're not gonna pick the weakest man for, you're not gonna pick the weakest man to handle the biggest things. No, you're gonna pick him for the weak things. Man, go out there, drop off the mail. Go out there, go get me some food. You're gonna give him a little small task. Go hit the drums or something. No, now you bring in your top soldiers though. Listen, I got something big for you. This might win us the war. Yeah, I need a courageous one for this. I need a smart one for this. I can't just handle this with anybody. You are not like them. You are different. That is what they're saying to you. So when people don't give you responsibility, when God don't give you responsibility, when you don't give yourself responsibility, what are you saying? You're saying that you're not great. You're saying that you can't handle it. And it's not that you don't have the potential to handle it, but you haven't brought that out of yourself to be able to manage those things. Because we have degrees of greatness that we have not reached within ourselves yet. We have degrees of greatness that we have not reached within ourselves yet. So we are unqualified for that next step until we reach into that. Some of you all have visions that are greater than you. Got this vision where I see this. Oh, I see this. I got this idea in my head. This is this thing I want to do. Oh, I want to be this person. I want to do that. But you're not that person to bring out that vision. How do you know? Because you can't do it. You haven't done it. You are who you are. And who you are, look at what you've done. That's who you are. That's the level that you've brought yourself to. And until you recognize that, to say, damn, well, I want more though, Keys. I want more money. I want more success. I want more happiness. I want more love in life and focus and prosperity. I want more travel in life, right? I want all of these different things. A person may want more sales, but did you increase your salesmanship? Did you create new systems? Did you fix your structure, right? Did you change your business model plan? Did you learn new marketing and new branding and new business development? Did you? Well, if you ain't did those things, you're not qualified for more. So training is what qualifies you. So you have to take yourself through some training first. So that training is that process of learning and development, which is the next step so that whatever you want in life, you can be qualified. It's not that life is unfair. It's that you are not training yourself to equalize the playing field. You have to make life fair. I love gym analogies because if I go in there and I see somebody lifting up the 100-pound weight, they crushing it. I mean, that's unfair that man can lift that and I can't. That's how you sound. That's unfair that they can lift that and I can't. Well, it ain't unfair. They trained for that. That ain't unfair. No, they went through the process of developing themselves to get to that level of strength. That's what everything in life. So that's the analogy you can use when you look around the world and this social media culture of compare and contrast. And when you may think things unfair and everybody is envy of everybody because everybody wants what the other person has, but that ain't even for you. You're not even trained for that. There's some people right now that if you gave them their goal, it would do more harm than help. It'll do way more harm than help. If there's some people, your habits are so bad right now. Your current mindset that if so a lot of you all may want $1 million, person give you $1 million, oh, it'll hurt you. It'll hurt you. You'll probably be hooked on drugs. You'll be hooked on sex. You understand me? You do so many things that'll harm yourself. You wouldn't have good spending habits. You would spend the money fast, right? You would just be tricking off. You'll be doing all sort of different things, right? It can probably speed up your process of a death. You don't want things you're not prepared for. You have to be trained for it. That's the same thing as that person. They go in there and they pick up that weight. That first day they in the gym, they try to pick up that 100 pounds, they can crack their back. Even if they can get it off the ground, they get it up, oh man, they might crack a muscle or something. They could kill themselves. You lift that up off the bench. Even if you can lift it up, when it come down, that shit could crack your chest. You lifting up something you ain't prepared for. So you have to be careful picking up things you're not ready for. You have to be careful asking for things you're not ready for. You have to stop and say, what is my level currently? Now you have infinite potential. That's cool. Ladies, aren't y'all tired of men and just their potential? Yeah. You want to see people actually bring it out. So that's how it is. You dating yourself. I'm tired of your potential, man. You got all this potential to do everything, but you don't be doing nothing. You know your potential. Fellas, you can check yourself the same way a woman is see. I'm tired of all this goddamn potential. I need to do something about it. So that's why I say it's better to make habits than goals, because you have to become the person that has that ability to reach that particular goal. Otherwise, they're delusional. Everybody has potential. You could probably build a rocket if you focus the rest of your life on it. You have the potential to do it. But will you? No. So focus on the things that you're ready for and then train for the things that you want to be. Training is that difference. That is the in between. Training is the bridge that gets you over to that next level. Learning is training. Reading is training. Research is training. Experimentation is training. I remember I had some business partners that trained me for my current stage in life. They mishandled business. They lost millions of dollars. They had kicked me out of the business that I started. And I remember I was asking Allah. I said, Allah, why? He said you weren't ready for it. You weren't you called onto things into existence that you weren't ready for. And I had to thank him for the lesson. I said that was a hard lesson. It was the most detrimental lesson I learned. But he said that if I didn't train you and take you through this partnership, you wouldn't be ready for the next one. You would not have the eyes to be able to see and deal with people. And this is the real one. This was just training. But if I didn't take you through that training, you would not be ready for what you're doing now. And at the time, I couldn't see it. At the time, you just question things. At the time, you're just angry. At the time, you're trying to figure out how to go to war. But he set me and he made me think. And I got counsel from other people. And God spoke through them. And he say, listen, if you want that next level, you understand, you have to take the lessons from this training that will prepare you for where you're going next. And he said, when the time is ready, let me know. I will put the responsibility back on your plate. But you have to go through the training. So I went through that training. I learned the lessons. And I'm still learning. To say you learn the lessons is an arrogance within itself, because there's so many more things to learn, but that's the process of life. You got to have the balls, you have to have the guts to be able to fail in order to learn, because failure is training for success. Failure is training for success. No, the tougher the training, the more success you're gaining. There's nothing wrong with the harder the lesson, right? The greater the degree of wisdom in it. So you find people who have been amputated in life. Some people lost legs, arms. But what they gained after that was a perspective that was so deep that a person with their arms and legs could not understand. But would you be willing to cut off your arm to learn what that person has now gotten from their perspective? Most of y'all wouldn't want to do that. Most of the wisdom and knowledge that we appreciate is because people have been through things. They've been through so much darkness. They were able to bring back the lessons and give it to us without having to go through it. People who went through the worst in life can teach us the most in life, because they went through it and they grab that wisdom and they bring that light to us. You won't want to have to go through that. I don't want to have to go through that. There's people who was in the army to where they didn't lost whole platoons of soldiers, and they had to go through extreme amounts of training in war. Then they came back and they wrote perspectives on it, on how to develop great mindsets that can deal with that much pain and trauma. And you may have go through nothing similar. It may be hard for you because it's your level. The same way if somebody is weak, a 20-pound weight to them is going to feel the same way if somebody is strong and a 100-pound weight feel to them. To the degree of greatness that you are, the weight of the responsibility feels the same. So it's not up to me to say that you're not going through nothing, but when you prepare yourself, what you're currently going through is going to feel so light in comparison to the new strength that you gain after you train yourself. This will be a testing year. This will be a year that challenges. It's not going to be a year of ease. But that means that if you can go through the challenge with skill, you will be within flow. Going through challenge with skill is flow. I challenge myself when I come to speak to you all. I don't always have a full fleshed out subject, but they say, well, that's the challenge. Well, where's your skill? Speak from the heart, speak from the mind. Think, what value can you give? What we The hardest problems that people deal with are problems of the heart and the mind, correctly identifying their emotions, emotional intelligence, emotional resilience. These are things that we lack, we're low in, and it's getting worse. Being able to bring yourself joy in the things that you do on a daily basis, just living with a smile on your face. That's hard for a lot of people. And it's not the fact that it's really that hard, it's the fact that we are envious of somebody who's doing something that we're not doing. I believe that that is the root of most of the problems. And there's undealt with inner and internal things that we deal with, and the things that we complain about in others, we start to seek that mirror that's inside, and we start to identify those in other people, and we dislike that because we haven't dealt with that within ourselves. So it's a process of healing and training, but you have to expose yourself to all of the inner parts of yourself in order to bring light to it. But if you don't bring any light to the dark areas of yourself, they never get exposed. And so there are way too many people that's just trying to hide those dark spots. They never, and you ain't got to give it to the world. I'm talking about to yourself. You are the world. You can only experience the world in your own brain. You are the world. So I'm talking about exposing yourself to yourself, saying it out loud in the mirror, talking to yourself, having that honest conversation about who you are, what you are, why you are. You understand me? What made you who you are? What happened to you? What didn't happen to you? What you need to work on. That part of life is what most people don't deal with. They get money, they get success, they get compliments, they get likes, they get love, all of that external shit. External things, excuse me. I can't be cursing on YouTube. I'm on YouTube too. All of those external things, those are the things that matter the least. The things that matter the most are all internal. They're all unseen. You can't show me the mind, but you can show me the projection of what the mind produces, but that's not important. It is the thought that produces the projection. You can show a world everywhere we look around, we can look at manifestation. We can look at this computer was manifested, the phone was manifested from somebody's mind, this mic was manifested from somebody's mind, this book was manifested from somebody's mind, this sage. All that is, that's proof that the mind works, but that doesn't tell me how to use my mind. Now I need to know how did they use their mind to bring forth things from their mind into existence. So the manifestation of it shows you possibility, shows you potential, but it don't show you how. That's why the unseen is more important than the seen. I see somebody with a million, see somebody with billions, see somebody with power, see somebody with things all the time on the internet, things that I don't have. And none of those are important. I need to know how. Otherwise, I can't duplicate, I can't produce. So when you look at the domain of the physical world, you have to think about the unseen world that produces the seen world. That's the science. You understand me? That is the science. So when we are caught up in the manifestation, we don't learn the process of production. So we have to, as a group of people, first think about the process of production. So as a they say our dollar's going to 1.8 trillion and spending power. That's cool. But what is more important is our ability to produce something from our collective intellect. What are we producing? I don't want to hear how smart somebody is. I don't care about somebody passing a Mensa test, some little smart IQ kid at 10 years old, all the stuff we did in the past. No, no, no. We have to get to become a mathematical, a systematic people. So, with the advert of entertainment being so high on a pedestal in our culture, where how many famous black engineers can you name? How many famous black scientists can you name? How many famous black psychologists can you name? And do you know why they are famous? What are the works that they are producing? What is the invention that the engineer is working on? What field of neuroscience, right, that this famous black man or woman is in? We can't name any of these things. Think about that for a second. But if I ask, go into any barbershop in Black America and we ask, who is your favorite rapper? Who is your favorite athlete? The debate can go on. We know their stats. We have all of the most unimportant information in our head at our fingertips, ready to debate with. Yet we don't know any science, any mathematics, any engineering, anything in the psychological field. There's no inventions and innovations that we can think of off top 10 that we have our arguments about. Who's developed something in the technology field? There's not. You mean nothing at all? So is that so? Do we still take this blame and do we project that on other people, or do we take accountability and say, "Damn, you're right. It's not their fault that I did not actively utilize this computer in my hand to search and find that out, and I don't stay up to date with it. It's not Shade Room's fault that you're constantly on it. It's not Netflix's fault because they got documentaries on there. It's your fault. You could decide to block them. You can decide to, focus your attention in other areas. Now, it don't matter. They have an agenda to keep us focused on what they're focused on because our attention is powerful. Our dollar is mighty. So if you got $1.8 trillion, hell yeah, they want to be able to get some of that spending power. Well, you ain't doing nothing with it anyway. At 1.8 trillion, less than 2% circulates in the black community. What? But you ain't doing nothing with it. Ain't nobody stopping you from doing nothing. Nobody's stopping you from learning engineering or science. Nobody's stopping you from being great in any of these fields but you. I'm trying to understand. Nobody's stopping you. So when I start to look at that, I said, damn, man, I don't want to hear about another people stopping us and putting their foot on our neck. I don't want to hear none of that shit. I want to hear about what we're doing as individuals and as a collective to put ourselves in a better position mentally, spiritually, financially, intellectually. You can complain about the school system, but what the hell are you teaching your child when they get home? But when you're not interested in intellectual studies, when the mother is more interested in trying to figure out if she can afford some ass shots, when the mother is more interested with lip injections, and the father is missing out the home, nobody's there to teach the child. So they're learning from your behavior, which is steeped in insecurities. So you're not interested in science, so the child never wants to be a scientist. You're not interested in engineer, so the child never wants to build anything. You're not interested in coding, so they can't create the apps for you. So the children of today, right? Our generation is based on our parents' interest or lack of interest. You mad at the school, but what the hell did you teach at the home? That child supposed to go there. See, a smart child gets in trouble a lot because they question everything. Smart child goes to school and question everything because of what they learning at the house. Oh no, my parents said this. That's how I was as a child. When I first went to public school, because we started off in private school. When I first went to public school, I think it was the fifth or the sixth grade, questioned everything. Wait a minute, why are we learning this part of history? Where's the black history? Wait a minute, that person was black. Wait a minute, who is this? What did you say? This ain't real. My parents taught me this, that, and the third. But without consciousness and awareness to filter through the indoctrination process of schooling, the child becomes an idiot of the system. That's it. And they think they smart. That's the worst part. When they think they smart. Oh man, when a fool thinks they smart, they will utilize the little intelligence that they have to defend their ignorance. I'm glad I don't have a degree, but I'm also grateful that I never stopped learning. Because a degree does not mean you stop learning or you haven't learned, rather. There are so many different ways. Some people, you hear a person is a lawyer, and our people need to learn law. We need to learn law, and we need to learn finance, right? These are two, law, finance, engineering are three of the top subjects I would say we should focus on, right? Engineering, the ability to be able to build things yourself, design things, right? Impeccable Story asked me if I had the vaccine. Come on, man. You know Big Keys ain't injecting himself in none of that crazy crap. Never have I ever, and never will I ever. So chill. But if I know lawyers, a lot of them don't make a lot of money. Let's see what's the average. What's the average? So let's just get to something really quick because we got a lot of myths that we need to dispel about reality that I think a lot of people are stuck in. A lot of people are stuck in. Somebody said they went and got the jab because they needed to get a job, and that's the problem. Getting jabs for jobs. You understand me? And so when you don't know how to use your mind and I'm not speaking on you specifically, but you know, you don't know how to come up with multiple solutions to a problem. That's high level thinking. My book, High Level Thinking, will be coming out soon. Let's see how much the average lawyer and doctor make. How much y'all think that they make? Let's see. According to the U.S. Bureau of Law Statistics, the median average annual wage for lawyer was 122,000 as of May 2022. However, the top lawyers earners made more than 200,000 per year, and the bottom 10% averaged around. Oh, where did my answer just go? 58,000. So in between bottom 10%, they say 58,000, 60,000. There's some lawyers making 80,000, public defenders, right? Corporate lawyers are going to make more money, things of that nature. Let's see what the average doctor makes. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Because when we was young, I would look at these positions that these people were rich. I would look at these positions that, lawyers and doctors literally make just about the same amount of money. Uh, 220,000. That's the annual wage for doctors, 2020. Now let's look at the average engineer. Because I think the problem was is that, you know, there was a glorification on a lot of these careers, but nobody says, okay, what are other ways that people can make money? Right? There are other routes to get you to $100,000 to $200,000 per year, right? Because now I'm starting to see these doctors, some of the great ones, they're utilizing social media. They're getting paid. Average engineer, 87,000, but I know that that goes up significantly depending on the field to like 2 to 300. Let me see. Top engineers. Oh, school debt takes about 60% of black wealth. That's why I think that the college education system is a scam. If you're not going for the top careers in there, then it's a scam. Yes, AI, lawyers will be threatened by AI, but not completely because somebody still has to litigate and argue the case. And an AI will not be able to do that human skill set because you can have all the knowledge in the world, but in the land of law, in the court, it's who can make the best argument and present the best case. It's theater. The courtroom is like theater. The truth doesn't matter. It's what you can make people believe. That's how social media is. It's fucking theater. Okay. Now let's see what are the top paying jobs. Because if a person that does Airbnb can make more money than a lawyer, a person that does YouTube can make more money than a lawyer. You understand me? And a doctor. But these were things that did not exist when we were given options. But these are things that the young children look at as options. So they want to go through 8 years of becoming a doctor or a lawyer, or they want to learn how to cut up content on social media, automate videos, and make $100,000 and $200,000 a year. They go choose what? They go choose goddamn the new jobs, right? That only makes sense. And we ain't even getting to OnlyFans. Y'all out here making the OnlyFans girls rich. Some of them getting paid 30, 40,000 dollars a month. And OnlyFans is just a democratization of the porn industry. That's all it is. It's the democratization of the porn industry. So when people say, well, what about going to college for certain jobs? Well, the top paying jobs is anesthesiologists, surgeons, oral and maxillofacial surgeons, um, obstetricians and gynecologists, orthodontists, psychiatrists, physicians and surgeons, family and general practitioners, and pediatricians. The amount of black people that I hear going in these fields is very low. That's not the responses I hear about people going to school for. They're not going to school for the top paying jobs that they actually need the education for. You're going to school. For most people are going, they talking about, I'm taking African American studies. Come on, man. There's dog breeders that make more than $100,000, $200,000. TikTokers that's making that kind of money. You can write a book, you understand me, and automate the process of selling it and make more money than that. So when I hear people talk about college, it's a scam because a lot of people are just going to put themselves in debt, but the education is not even valuable, and now they have to figure out something else. So what's the point of going? For the experience? You can give yourself an experience. Like in the BWO, we go create experiences. We'll create outings. People can come together as a community, connect with each other, get to know each other. We built this up. Let's say we get 10,000 people in the BWO. We can build out an experience. We can go to Africa together. We can go travel the world together as a community. We can connect, thrive, and build. We can create experiences. And most people, college experiences did not make them great people. They just went and experimented sexually. They experimented with drugs, right? They found out who they wasn't, and a lot of people still didn't find themselves. Didn't really. It's not like the college experience is turning out great human beings. It's just an experience. Nobody said it's the best experience. I don't see people that go to college and then they come out and they have the best communication skills, the best socialization skills ever because of the college experience. No. So therefore, I don't believe that it is the most valuable.
Hard for guys.
Yeah.
Hold on, we're about to go live again on social media.
For guys.
Oh, all right, cool. Where we at? Where we at? Where we at? Where we at? I can't see y'all on YouTube. There you go. There you go. Let's get into this, man. I'm up now. We about to get into some stats. We about to get into some stats today. No slacking. Let's get it cracking.
For guys.
Yeah.
All right. All right. I'm only creating polarizing titles from now on to my videos. It's amazing. So let's get more into these stats because I'm gonna end up doing another one in a little bit. Boom. So, what are ways to make money outside of traditional education? I think some of you are some jobs need to be taken away by AI. I think so. I think some jobs need to be taken away by AI because I feel like if some jobs are taken away by AI, then I think that it can be human beings can now focus on putting their mind and their brain to things that matters the most. Yeah, we flipping land in the BWO. You in the land flipping CWN? That's what's up. Y'all know we flipping land in the BWO, right? Why is people trying to call me, man? Stop trying to call me. I don't know you. Stop. Don't call me.
What's up, my boy?
What's up, bro? I was just fixing the live real quick. Because when I add somebody in, it stops it from glitching.
Yeah, for sure.
Man, I appreciate you being on, though, God.
Man, I was just telling my girl, bro, I want to get some crowns from you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Most definitely.
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to look with the dread.
Now, it's some people that, you know what I'm saying, pull the dreads up, you know what I mean, wrap it to the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, bro, I've been tapping into your life. I think, bro, you Rashard and them over there on EYL.
Yes, sir, man. The good brothers.
I mess with y'all boys hard. I'm trying to give myself, a little room to grow before I start trying to just put all my money into the investing and whatnot. I just want knowledge up before I do.
Yes, sir. Yeah, no, that's definitely smart. Do your research first before anything. That's the thing I tell everybody before you invest into anything. The level of accountability and the level of research. You know, this year I think I'm taking my investments to a different type of level. I want to make sure that I am fully educated on everything that I invest any dollar into. You understand me? Because it's number one, why the economy is down. If I find the right things to invest into next year, right, or the year afterwards, when the economy is up, it can have a significant return. You understand me?
For sure.
But I appreciate where you from?
I'm from Houston, bro.
Okay, solid. We supposed to be out in Houston in like a week. We got a BWO event out there, and I'm supposed to be getting this MLK award.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna try to tap into as much as I can, but shit, them tickets be a little pricey for a youngster like me.
You said the figures?
Them tickets.
Oh shit! I mean, I don't even know if this event gonna be a event where we charge. So I gotta see. The other event I'm going to with the MLK award, I'm not sure what they charging. But that's not my event.
Yeah, this would I be. I told you and your boy Yankee, I had took some notes down from y'all.
Yes,
boys.
Sir.
I be in there, man. Y'all boys keep doing what y'all do, bro.
Yes, sir, man. I appreciate you tapping into the high level conversations, man.
Yeah, sure, bro. Much love.
Be blessed, God. Bashir was trying to call me. I'm Pooh trying to call me while I'm live. You know I'm live. Oh, somebody asked. Yeah. All right. As y'all can see, I've been working out, so the muscles are sore right now. You know what I'm saying? If you didn't notice that, I just wanted to bring that up. I just wanted to bring that up. So just letting y'all know. Yeah, so let's get back to our subject at hand. Let's talk about making some money in 2023, man. Let me ask you all, between like, what do you think, if you all been paying attention to this AI stuff, and I'm gonna keep talking about it, and somebody said they got tired of me talking about it already, and that's just too bad. You know what I'm saying? Because I always try to impress upon us the most important things that we should be paying attention to before they're too late. And I've been talking about this for the last 4 years. So it's not new, but I've also, if there's anybody platform that speaks on a plethora of different subjects, is mine. You know what I'm saying? What up, brother?
Hey, what up, black man?
Dang, man, you looking young as a mug, boy.
Absolutely, that's good. I'm looking young, vibrant, and good. Okay.
Whoa, you look like you
I can't. No, this was exposed in 19 Keys.
Yeah. Come on through with it.
So who was exposing you though?
I'm exposing myself.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
What type of way though? And which way you exposing yourself?
Well, you got to expose all the different areas of yourself. You understand me? And so I'm just bringing light to who I am, my story. You understand me? What I got to offer, the knowledge I got to bring, but also all of my titles are going to be polarizing. What I realize is that, you know, everything got to be polarizing. You understand me? There are people who will literally tap in to see if you really getting exposed, and then there's people that know, man, can't nobody exposing Keys because that brother been doing it in front of the world solidly for the last 10 years. What is there to expose besides a real track record? You understand me? I'd seen some sucker shit on the internet where somebody was talking about that old BWO partnership that I had. Now they had the story completely wrong. And it's crazy because I lost more in that partnership than anybody. But it just made me look at it, the fact that you can literally create anything on the internet, and then there's going to be a group of people who want to believe it. So therefore they're gonna run with it. And so the dangerous thing about the internet, I can literally go create up a narrative right now. I can create some fake beef, I can create a fake story, and I can get people, thousands of people on my side for it. It won't be true at all. And this is the most dangerous thing, is because people will believe anything. And we don't know how to think for ourselves, so we don't even want to research. We don't want to study, we don't want to research, we don't want to do anything. Right?
Facts.
So,
Facts.
you know, for me, what I learned that there's no such thing as bad publicity. It's all good because now you're exposing
Right, it's all
people
good.
to 19 Keys. And then when they go search for themselves, they like, nigga, I ain't gonna lie, Keys put me up on game. You know what I'm saying? And so I used to
Right.
be in the streets. I used to be doing a lot of dumb shit, right?
Right.
And during ain't
You
nobody
was in
try
the
to
streets before?
no Fibonacci. You stop playing with me. Fibonacci is not the same BWO.
No, bro,
It's different,
I'm
definitely
learning.
different.
I'm learning. You was in the streets?
Come on, stop playing with me, man.
I'm learning. Like, I'm trying to learn.
Man, you know my body. Why you playing with me, B?
You said you was exposing more about yourself. So
You
I'm
know
trying to
my
learn
body.
more about it.
You already know. You can expose it yourself. You know me,
I
B.
know,
Stop
bro.
playing with me like that,
I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to learn with the people.
bro. Okay, listen. What do you want to know?
You said you was in the streets, so I want to know about these streets you're talking about.
I don't really like talking about my street days like that, man.
Oh,
I beat that case. I had like
you know, like talking
I
about
had been
the
like
streets.
I probably had been arrested like 10 times before 19, maybe more. You know, I caught maybe 3-4 cases. Some of them petty, some of them was felonies. You understand me? Little petty stuff. You know, I used to be out there moving the way I used to move, growing up in Oakland, California, growing up in St. Louis, Missouri. These are both heightened and dangerous environments, right? And so when you in those environments, no matter how much you grow up as a Muslim, you grow up with a background, right? Shit, you gonna get caught up. My older brother was a gangster. You understand me? He got caught up in that lifestyle. He taught me his ways. I moved behind him. You understand me? As I followed his movements. You dig? And then I moved with my own comrades when we was in the streets.
So y'all had a gang? So y'all had a gang y'all started?
Well, it was called it was called B Block, Bloods, Loksar, Clips Connect. So if you look at my track record, I got a track record of always bringing people together. You know what I mean? Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't work. B Block
Together was a gang.
So, you know, B Block, Bloods, Loksar, Clips Connect, we were the younger brothers of you understand me, the neighborhood, if you will. But instead of us going after each other, we decided to click up because in that certain section of that neighborhood, we didn't have, we didn't have our own gang.
So this was like a cops and robbers game y'all was playing?
No, it wasn't no game. It was real life.
No, because that's what it sounds like. Like this was you said you went to like a real jail, or this was just like how y'all was playing around.
Come on, man, stop playing with me, Bashir.
I'm trying to figure out what's going on.
Why you playing with me, man?
I'm trying to figure out what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
Why you playing with me? So you don't. So you don't remember. You don't remember when I was going through my cases.
My memory precedes me.
I don't know if that made sense.
Yeah, it does make sense. My memory precedes me, which means that I don't know. If
what's wrong with you? You smoke too much weed or something? You
that was some future. No, I don't smoke weed.
What you doing? Molly pills? What's going on with you? Why you ain't got your memory? You look young to be. You look too young to forget yourself. This is my younger brother, y'all. This is my younger brother, Bashir.
I look amazing.
AKA Ampu, who just cut his hair, so he looks super young right now. So he's playing with me, but he know my body, mate. He know that when I was younger, growing up in Oakland, in California, in St. Louis, man. St. Louis was more of the streets. It was more wild. Oakland was more of the black Muslims. Them cats was wild too. You know, I can't, help who I grow up with and or around, but I can help how I take in that information and who I become, right? So the fact that we grew up in St. Louis, I was born on the north side, but when I did move back to St. Louis, we was raised on the south side. And on the south side, you had different neighborhoods such as Shenandoah, you had Botanical, you had the Dark, then you had across Grand where you had all the state streets, and each one of these streets were gangs, right? So in between, you got Shenandoah, then you got Botanical, which became just sort of like its own gang, and that was centralized where my bro Steve used to stay, who y'all see me with, right? So we used to get into all sorts of different trouble. It's one of them neighborhoods. You walk down the street, you got to get in a fight sometimes. If somebody asks you, what you walking down the street for, or some crazy shit like that. You go across Grand, right across the street, you might get shot at. People try to rob you.
Yeah.
That's St. Louis. St. Louis is a very treacherous and dangerous place. St. Louis is not a place to play with if you know St. Louis streets. You understand me? So if you active and you're in St. Louis and you move around, you're going to get into things. You go get in fights, you go get into shootouts, you go get into crimes, criminality, all sort of issues. Then growing up in Oakland, you understand me? Oakland was just more of the street Muslims. So the cats that I grew up with in Oakland, they was more street Muslim mafia behavior. You understand me? It was a completely different type of lifestyle being in Oakland than in St. Louis, right? So in that environment, my Oakland experience is different than most people growing up in your black Muslim bakery and growing up in the Oakland experience and seeing men with organizations fail for multiple different reasons. So growing up around that, I learned a lot, right? And as I was learning, I think that I was blessed with a perspective that most people did not have growing up with, because a lot of people grew up Muslim, but they didn't stay Muslim. A lot of people grew up with knowledge of self, but they didn't stay with it.
A lot of people just grew up as weirdos.
Well, I'm saying that they grew up Muslim, but they didn't stay Muslim. They don't still believe, in any of the tenets, practice, or principles. They don't represent it whatsoever. One of the first successful clothing items that I made was the Assalamu Alaikum shirt. When I had it and I was wearing it, and that was at a time where people were afraid to say they was Muslim, and I did it as a protest, like, no, I'm gonna wear the shirt and I'm gonna rock it like a style. And that became successful, and I was selling that out the trunk of my car, driving throughout Oakland. Like I've always been a hustler my whole life. You dig? So when I did go to school and college for 1 year, I ended up leaving college because I caught a case. I was accused of, assaulting someone, right? And I ended up beating that case, not guilty. Somebody's trying to snitch on me and say I did something that the court said I didn't do. You did? And so these iterations in life that I've been growing through and I've been going through has prepared me for where I am now. That lets me, that this is what qualified me to be where I am now. You understand me? Like, I can talk about the jobs, I can talk about the studying, I can talk about the religious, I can talk about the spiritual, the consciousness, all of that stuff. But the bad times growing up where, I'm in a household of addicts that's doing drugs around me. You understand me? And I can smell the crack smoke coming through the floors. Those are the times that I don't talk about. Those are the times of the dark times that make you who you are, that I get emotional about, because that's the times that people don't see that make you a man. You know what I'm saying? So I don't look like what I went through. I don't look like the adversity that I went through, losing family members, losing partners in the streets, going through these different things. But that adversity is what built my character. So the small things that I go through that a person brings up, that shit is minor. Like when you survived, the impossible, everything is possible to you after that. When you survive the impossible, everything is possible to you after that.
Yeah, man, it's I've been watching a lot of documentaries on Nip recently, and just one of the reasons why he ain't survived that situation he was in, to me, just looking from the outside in, is just being able to move outside of yourself, right? And so that's why I do see that you're doing. I can look at you and be like, as my brother, and be like, okay, I'm glad that you ended up moving out. You understand what I'm saying? You got outside of your comfort zone. You got outside of your space, right? The space that was familiar to you. So that's what helped you to improve yourself and see yourself on an even more universal scale. See yourself in a more universal way.
Right.
And even now, because now we got an even bigger mission to go, right? We got a much bigger mission, and much more powerful goal than what people even see right now. As we think about from 5-10 years from now, and where we gonna be, and where we are headed, and where we headed to, it's like this ain't even nothing. Like this ain't nothing compared to what we are accomplishing. You understand? Because just seeing from what the marathon represented, what we represent, especially in a lot of people asking, you Islamic, you a Muslim. So what part of Islam do you represent, Keys? That's what people keep on asking, right? Well, what people don't understand is this: we represent the same God, the same being that Christ represented.
Man,
you understand? That's all we represent.
I represent Allah. Shit,
that's it.
Ain't listen.
I
don't give nobody
no.
There to me ain't nobody that can check me on shit. You know what I'm saying? Besides Allah, right? Because ain't nobody was giving my mission. Nobody was giving my mission and my guidance and my vision. So anybody else, if like I said, this is what I offer to everybody. If you don't believe in me, just exit. If you don't think this is the correct way to go about life, doing things, just exit. I ain't got time to deal with you because obviously,
really don't.
No, because listen to this. Obviously, if a person, believe that they had a greater degree of knowledge, a skill set, an intellect, and they was following what they follow as correct, then they would be over there following it. But if they're over here, what they're trying to do is correct their own thoughts because there's some insecurities in what they believe. You understand me? And so they're questioning their own beliefs and they're trying to figure out, maybe I should follow you. But instead of asking the questions in an earnest way, instead of asking the question in a positive manner, they do it in a conflicting way because we only know how to speak violent to each other. We don't know how to speak
because they're trying to be enlightened.
Yeah, so I'm not mad at people who come through with issues. I've seen this one brother. I realized, I said, damn, one day once you become famous, you become bigger, people just start making videos about you, right? But it's funny, we always notice the negative out of the 1,000 good. But it was a brother, he was trying to explain why he didn't like me, but he could not figure out why. It was funny. He was just like, I just can't.
I'm a hater, but I just don't know why. I don't know why that hater is in me.
Bro, he was really trying to figure it out. He said, wow, that's just something I don't get. And your greatness can easily make people insecure when you know yourself. People hate people with confidence. People hate people that know thyself. You understand me? That ain't cockiness, rocks life. Cockiness is some bullshit that they sold y'all so that black men don't feel superior and know themselves. Right? That's some bullshit. Black men in America have the worst statistics of everybody. So people tell y'all and sell y'all this cockiness play, but that's not real. The moment black men start gaining confidence in America and confidence of self to do what they want to and not care what other people think, people start calling it cockiness, and that's bullshit. And I won't allow people to say that because the reality of it is no great man on the planet Earth, had done anything without confidence. I live in a world that's designed by another man. I look at the buildings and the internets and all of this. This is designed by another man. He had to have a crazy amount of confidence, right? And testicular fortitude to design the world that I live in. So for me, I don't like that idea at all. And I think that comes from like this hate that people have against black masculine men. That's what I really think. It comes from the hate of masculinity itself.
Yeah, it's even deeper than that. It's the hatred of God. Because when you seeing a black man confident, you looking at God. That's the deepest. If you want to go to the deepest level on what we understand it, right? It's like what we say. We say, fear no one but Allah, right? And we know that Allah is man. So if you a black guy walking around here, knowing yourself as a God,